So you might remember in a previous video on my MK2 Audi TT, I explained that the stereo doesn't work. In fact, the stereo does work, it just produces no sound. Now the one I've got is not the Bose system, which is the classic one that sort of goes wrong. I've got the BNS 5 Audi sat-nav system, and it's got a Lear amp in the boot. Evidently, they don't tend to go wrong. So I'm wondering if there's perhaps some sort of software protection. I know the car had a new battery not too long ago, so maybe the battery failed, it's lost some of that coding, I don't know. Whatever the problem, I've done the usual things. I've even swapped out the amp, I've tried different fuses, and I can't resolve it. So I've got an auto electrician coming out tomorrow to resolve that. I've also got a very, very common issue with one of the brake lights. A frustrating one because Audi basically just didn't use thick enough earthing cable for the rear brake lights. So I'm getting that resolved at the same time. And there's also some really nasty aftermarket stuff that people have put in there. So basically you want to get all that aftermarket stuff dealt with, find any electrical faults in the car. Now, one of the other jobs I'd like the auto electrician to do, if they have time, want them to fit a new stereo for me. And the guys at Teyes over in Australia have been kind enough to do me an amazing deal on a new Android head unit. It's the Teyes CC3, and I'm really, really happy about this. It's one that they particularly recommend for use with the MK2 TT. You get a faceplate adapter so that it looks reasonably factory, hopefully, once it's installed into the car. And it's really going to revolutionise the experience of the car, because although the car's not particularly dated on the exterior, once you get in and you see a really old school head unit and you've got no real Bluetooth functionality, you're back to playing music from CDs and all that kind of stuff, and you don't have any maps on without using your phone, it does all date it a bit. And I really feel like putting a really good Android head unit into the car is really going to bring it into the modern era. Lots of other stuff going on with the car at the moment, so there'll be other updates on that. But in this video, I thought I'd just start with a little unboxing of the unit. And then once it's actually installed in the car, I'll go through a really detailed review and we'll look at all the features, the functionality. I'll give you my upfront, frank, honest opinion on the quality of everything, if it's laggy or not, any issues with it whatsoever. Teyes have done me a great deal on this, but they've stressed that they want me to give you my open and honest on it, all right? So they must be quite confident in it, I guess. There's absolutely no pressure for me to give it some kind of positive review. And as you know, if you know me in my videos, if that were ever a condition of any kind of deal, I'd say no. So let's get on with the unboxing. Okay, so here's my big box of tricks from Teyes. The first thing here is a screen protector. As I'm in an Audi TT, there's quite a lot of glass in that car, and they feel like it might be a better use experience with one of those. So I've got one of those, didn't cost a lot, and it probably helps keep the fingerprints down and stuff. Then we've got standard accessories here, which are things like, there's your external microphone for Bluetooth calls and what have you. All the different RCA bits and bobs there. There's a connection for a rear view camera if you choose to have one of those. That is a GPS antenna. Then you've got a couple of what appear to be Wi-Fi antennas. I think this has got two different lots of Wi-Fi, so it's probably for that. Then you've got USB inputs, which you stick those through your glove box or somewhere else convenient in the car, and then that appears to be an SD card reader. We've then got a little envelope. Okay, that's quite cool. So there's a QR code, and you use that QR code and that gives you basically your full-on instruction manual. There's a thing here telling you how to activate Teyes voice. And then there's a branded microfiber cloth to clean the screen with. That's all quite nice. And there's a full-on wiring diagram, so that will be really useful for the auto electrician, I'm sure. Right, so far, so good. As they sell this as an upgrade kit for the Audi TT, this is like all the wiring loom adapters and stuff, and this is your CAN bus decoder. Now, using all this means you should be able to more or less plug or play into the existing wiring in your car into the back of the new head unit. There may be one or two issues with my particular car because it's been got at a few times, and as we know, there's already a little problem with the sound, so it might not be quite as easy as that on that particular car, which is why I'm just going to get a responsible adult to do it for me. But in most cars, I think it will be plug and play. There's even an adapter here, look, in case you've got a different kind of aerial connection in your car. And then the CAN bus is so that certain things that are built into the car can actually speak to this new Android head unit. Stuff like steering wheel controls, possibly some sort of driver information, bits and bobs like that. Then we've got some trim tools, just little plastic pry tools to help you get any interior trim pieces off. Some keys to remove the existing stereo unit, and this is cool. This is the fascia plate, yep. And that means you pop the head unit into that, and this should fit very nicely into the existing Audi dash and make it look a bit more factory than it might do otherwise. You know, sometimes you see people that do aftermarket stereos and there's a bit of a nasty gap or the thing's sticking out way too far from the dash. Well, hopefully this trim piece makes it look as natural and factory as possible. And then to the main event, the Teyes CC3. Here it is. Already, I'm a bit shocked by how slim that box is. I know some of these Android units are not that big, so interesting to see a bit more inside this. Again, like really, really good quality packaging. And there we go. So it will be that into this fascia plate, like that, into the dash. Nice. So what have we got here? Let's have a look at the back first. We've got the various connections. So there's a little fan here on top of what you can see under here is a heatsink. This is the, I think, a 6-core chip that I've got in here, and I've got the 128GB version. So it's got that much memory already on it. As we saw, there's also an SD card slot, and I think there's another one there actually. On the back here, we've got connections for 5G, Wi-Fi, GPS, and 4G. There's also another QR code there, so you can find the manual. That's really good. Optical in, coaxial in, 15 amp fuse there, and that's just about it. But look at that. And the front here, we've got, there's a mic. So this does have a built-in mic, but I would strongly urge anyone to use an external mic. Reason being, however good this mic is, it's going to be down at like gear selector level in that Audi. And you'd be much better having a mic somewhere around about the rear view mirror. So it's going to just pick up your voice much easier and probably give you less background noise. So that's there. I don't know, it could be brilliant, but I very much doubt it. There's a hard reset there. You've got power, home, back, volume up, volume down, and everything else is done via the touchscreen. No twiddly knob, but I can live with it. So there we go. The next video you see of this, hopefully, will be this sitting in the car, working, playing sounds, and I'll be taking you through all the features of it. I'll give you my open and honest opinion of it. I haven't received this unit for free. They haven't told me I've got to give it a brilliant review. Okay, I have had it for a discount because I'm making this video. Yeah, I really have high hopes for this, and really hope it helps bring the car into the modern age a little bit. So stay tuned for that one. So the best way to make sure you don't miss out on any of my videos in future is to click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and give this one a big thumbs up. By the way, if you're interested in one of these, there is a link in the video description and pinned as the top comment, okay? Thanks ever so much for watching, folks. Please stay tuned, and I hope to see you next time.